Hi, just another update on SCPrime for the month of April, and I've just popped in my earnings for the month, and we can see in total I've earned $20.27 from both of my providers. So that's an increase from last month's earnings by 26%. So we can see also the amount of storage increasing here. So on my Windows box here, where I have got the storage and collateral set to 1 SCP, I've got 410 gigabytes in use, so that's earning a bit more than my Linux one here, which is set at 5 and 5, which only earned 20.3. Now there's not a huge amount of difference in it now that they have sort of leveled out a bit. There's one SCP difference pretty much. But overall, it's around $10 per provider this month just gone. So that's a nice little bit of profit here, and our total now, since setting these two up, is $75.76. Now, 75.76 doesn't sound like much, but when you consider how much SCPrime has gone down recently, it is obviously understandable. We were up at $2.95 per SCP, but now we're obviously down at about 49 cents at the moment. So the whole of the market is down at the moment, so I do hope that this will go up in the future. We are, of course, now on to May's incentives as well, so we can update this, and we're now going to be using May's to use our calculator. So now anything we pop into here will calculate how much we should get. If we had an extra increase of 100 gigs, that would give us an extra $4 this coming month. So the sale on the licenses has ended. I did purchase a couple before the start of this month because that is when the cutoff was for the rebate. So I should get a rebate on my 2 basic licenses that I bought here. Now, there's still no detail on how to apply your license yet. I think that's still in the works. So they have added an FAQ onto the site finally, so that's going to be answering most of your questions here. There's the differences. So the basic is going to give you auto pricing and auto re-announcing, whereas the full will give you the GUI, which we don't really need because we've got a GUI here, so I don't want to pay more money for something I've already got pretty much. I know it is slightly different, but for me, just checking how much storage is in use and how much my incentives are, the basic license is fine for me. So we know the rebate period is over, but we should get 100% rebate at the end of 12 months, as long as our storage provider is online, I believe 95% of the time. So as you can see here, there's no action required currently, and details on how to apply the license will follow over the following months. Now, months does sound like quite a long time. Hopefully it's going to be a bit quicker than months, but we'll have to just wait and see. You can, of course, continue running your provider without a license. We already knew that. So you can still receive data, but that data is going to be from unknown sources. So people who are worried about what is getting stored on their provider, you probably do so want to purchase a license, as that will give you a bit of confidence that what's going on your provider isn't too dodgy. As you can see here, anything that goes through the XANet services, which is where you need the license for, they have strict terms and conditions around not storing illegal material. You do indeed need multiple licenses per provider, which I had already guessed. It wouldn't make sense to buy a license per user because you could set up 100 providers and get away with just $99. XA minor people don't need to buy a license, and you can transfer licenses between providers. So that's quite an interesting one. If you do purchase a license and then decide later down the road that you don't really want to carry on with SCPrime, you can actually give it to someone else. I presume you just email their support and they'll be able to transfer it to another person's name. So what I want to do this month is actually take out my profits. So I'm going to take out, say, 20 from each of SCP and send it to my South Exchange account, and then exchange that to a USDT or something else to take some profit from what we've earned this month. So we'll just quickly go through exactly what you need to do to withdraw from your wallet. So we'll start with the Windows provider first. Just make sure you're in your SCPrime folder, wherever that is located, and you can just type SPC wallet to see exactly how much you've got in your wallet. So I've currently got 82.4 SCP. So decide how much you want to take out. So I'm going to say take out 20 SCP here. And these are the commands you need to run. I've put them in here to make it easier to see. So Windows, you just do SPC wallet send scprimecoins, how much SCP you want, and which address you want to send it to. So we're going to get our wallet address first from South Exchange. So on South Exchange, go to wallets. Make sure you've got hide zero balances unticked just in case you don't have any SCP currently, as I don't. So on my SCP wallet here, I'm going to go to deposit. Okay, so you can copy your address here. I believe you can only have one address for SCP. Yeah, you can only have one. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm just going to put this into my notepad file here, just to make it easier. Then we're going to put in, say, 20. So I'm going to do SPC wallet send SCPrime 20 SCP to that address. Just double check it has copied and pasted correctly, ending in 8E5, which it does. So I can now copy that into my Windows provider here, and then just hit return. Now if we do an SPC wallet, we can see an unconfirmed delta of 20 or minus 20. So now we just wait a few moments for that to go through to the South Exchange. I'm going to do the same on my Linux provider as well. So on Linux, it's exactly the same command, but you just start it with a / in front of the SPC. So I'm going to copy this, go to our SCPrime current version. We can see we've currently got 76 SCP here. I'm going to just right click here to paste that in, and then just press return. And you can see there it is on the way. So we're going to do another /SPC wallet. And we can see we've got a minus 20 here. So I should end up with about 56 left here. And on the Windows provider, about 62. Now you can keep this building up inside your wallet if you wish. And then if you do add further storage in the future, then you'll have plenty of collateral to cover it. Okay, so we can see that I have 40 SCP incoming. It has taken a long time to actually show up. So don't panic if it doesn't appear straight away. You can see this one started at about 10 to 11, and it's already nearly 20 past 11, and we're only on sort of 2 of the 20 confirmations here. So basically once that has gone into my account, what I can do is go to markets, and I can search for, let's say I want a stable coin. I'm going to search for SCP, so I can go to SCP USDT, and once my SCP is in my account, I can click on sell here, and I can sell my full amount, which will be 40, and you'll see I'll get about $19.26. So I won't bother waiting for this to go through, because it is going to take quite a long time, I think, to come through. But yeah, it's as simple as that. And hopefully, like I say, as soon as there's any information on the license, I'll do another video to show you exactly what's required. If anything, it might just be a case of updating the SPD and SPC with a license file attached or something, but we'll find out soon enough, hopefully, in the next month or so. So I've put all the commands in the description below, and also a link to the spreadsheet. If you want to make a copy of it, just click File and make a copy. And then you can edit it yourself and put in your own earnings just to track it. If you've only got one provider, just select this and hide it or something. You don't need to have both running at the same time. And just have a play around with it, really. But yeah, it's not doing too badly, I'd say. $20 a month. Like I said, if this value of SCP was back at $2.50, you'd see we would have actually earned over $100 this month. So sadly, that isn't the case at the moment, as we're down at $0.48, so we've only earned 20. But yeah, the potential is there for earning a nice amount per month for each provider that you set up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my other videos on SCPrime and other methods of making passive income. And if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. And thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.